Pythagoras. Hello, Pythagoras. How are you doing today?
Oh, alright. My cult has been acting up again. They aren't happy about me taking all the credit for the Pythagorean theorem. But it's not my fault that I'm smart and they're stupid.
Yeah, I understand what you're feeling. Didn't I hear a rumor that the mathematicians were using the Pythagorean theorem more than 1,000 years before you had?
No.
Alright. Well, if you don't want to elaborate on that, I guess we can just go straight into your childhood. What was that like?
They could tell I was going to be a genius from the very beginning. And not only that, but I was a champion athlete. It's no wonder I created a renowned school.
You did? Tell us about it.
Okay. There isn't much information about it because I didn't allow written records, but I allowed both men and women in the year 529 BC. I taught my students that numbers are like living things, not just things in their heads.
Well, I know you've made several discoveries, but most of them are way over our heads. Why don't you discuss the Pythagorean for us?
Alright, do you know what a right triangle is?
It's probably the opposite of a left triangle.
No. It's a triangle that contains a right angle. That's a 90-degree angle.
Oh, right.
Anyways, the theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This means that the length of the two shorter legs added together is equal to the length of the hypotenuse squared. This is used to find the length of any side of a triangle as long as you have the other two sides. Do you get it?
I might need you to show us a few examples.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do an easier problem. Say you have a right triangle with 5 and 12 as the legs. So 5 squared equals 25. 12 squared equals 144. And then you add those together and you get 169. And the square root of 169 is 13. So this side equals 13. That's using this equation.
Nah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now I'm going to have you try another easier one, and then we'll try a harder one. I'll take your cat.
What am I trying?
Don't fight it. Okay. Should we erase this?
Should I just do 4 and 5? No, 3 and 4.
Get that one.
Too hard.
Okay.
3 and 4. Okay. So do you want that?
Help you try. Sure.
How many days ago? You had one. Oh, there
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a triangle with the legs that equal 3 and 4. So, can you plug that into that equation?
3 squared plus 4 squared equals, I don't know. 3 squared is 9 plus 4 squared is 16. That would equal 25.
Now, what's the square root of 25?
5.
So,
It's 5.
nailed it.
Now we're going to do a problem that a viewer sent in. If a balloon is rising from a point 25 feet away from an observer and its rate of change is 2 feet per second, at what rate is the angle changing when it is 45 feet off the ground? To solve this problem, we know that tangent of theta is h over 25.
Tangent of theta is h over 25.
Which is equal to 25 tangent of theta is equal to h.
25 tangent theta is equal to h.
To get the rate of change of theta at any given time, at any given h, we need to take the derivative. This is equal to 25 secant squared of theta d theta over dt is equal to dh over dt.
Secant theta
Squared.
squared
D theta over dh dt equals dh dt. We can then sub 2 in for dh dt. We now have to use the Pythagorean theorem to get our secant value. Secant is the hypotenuse over adjacent, so if our triangle has a leg of 25 and a leg of 40, its hypotenuse would be 25 squared plus 40 squared equals c squared.
This equals 220.
So c equals the square root. I didn't write down the rest of my problem. We can now sub in our secant, which is hypotenuse over adjacent, so it's this over this squared.
Over this.
D theta dt equals 2. And then, since this is squared, it would just be this over 625.
This messy handwriting. I'm sorry.
And now we just isolate the variable. You got this, Pythagoras. You may do the honors.
What percent?
Good job, Pythagoras.
Oh, thank you.
Well, folks, that's all the math we have for you today. See you next time.
Geometry for three, geometry for three. That's one hot math. Geometry for three.